Hey everyone, well thanks for being patient. I just now got over to my computer and I was going to do live, but I realized that I'm going to have to experiment to see how I can put my computer in front of the smartboard and then use the smartboard to write, because the camera on my computer is going to be what's being broadcast rather than the media. So we will work on that and experiment and see what's the best way we can do it so I can do it live. Alright, so tonight's homework is on 1.4, compare and order decimals. Make sure you put your first and last name and your teacher's name, homeroom teacher's name on there. In case you lose it, we know where to find it. We're doing all even numbers tonight. Now, if you really want to be proactive, tomorrow night you got the odd numbers. So you can do all of them this evening or do even tonight and then odd tomorrow. So the secret's out. You know what your homework is for tomorrow evening. All right, let's get started. So we're looking at even numbers. Now, I am going to use on a separate sheet of paper so I can line up, and this is what we were talking about on one of our strategies, and you can also do it as money. So we talked about two different types of strategies that we can work on. So I'm going to look at this one here. On 7 and 20 hundredths, I'm going to add a 0 as my hero so that they would have the same thing. I will just do it here. If I lined it up, this is 2, 0, and I have my 7, and this was the 2. I can put my 0 as my hero, and then coming straight down, I have equal, equal, and equal, so I'm going to put the symbol equal sign on this one. Let's go number 4. Let's see if I can just put them here instead of moving to a separate sheet of paper. 444 hundredths and 4 and 44 thousandths. Right above, I'm going to put 0 as my hero so that I can fill in that blank and look at it. Remember, when we read left to right, so I'm going to start left to right. These are equal. Okay, I'm going to circle the ones that have inequality so that they're not equal. Then I'm going to write it out, and I'm going to put 4 is greater than 0. And so this tells me my symbol. I look over here, my 4 and my 0, and put my greater sign. Let's go to number 6. And on number 6, I am looking at, I can immediately, if you did it immediately, fantastic. I'm going to do it out to show my evidence to make sure. 0 is my hero there, 0 is my hero here, and so they're all equal and an equal sign there. Let's move over to number 8. Here I need to order from greatest to least, so it's going to be the largest number to the smallest number. Here I'm going to go ahead and put this on a separate sheet of paper. So I'm going to write out each number. I'm going to start off with 1. It's my whole number. Oh, no, I lied. Looked at it. Didn't see that semicolon there. So 1 in 1,000. The next number, I think I'll just underline so I can see it. The next one is going to be 1 and 1/10. The next number is 1 and 403 thousandths. And the last one is 1 and 78 thousandths. I see some blanks here, so I'm going to put 0 is my hero. And then again, I'm going to start from left to right. So these are equal. I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to circle. I remember I'm doing it from greatest, which is, that's another synonym for greatest. That's right, largest, biggest. I've heard both of those. I can pretend like I'm hearing it. And then it's going to least, which is smallest. I'll move that over. So this is the first one, so I'm going to put 1 because that's the one I would put. Then it's that I would list first. And then this is my second one that I would list second. So I'm going to go ahead and write those out. 1 and 403 thousandths. The next one is 1 and 1. And I'm just going to put my zeros here if that helps you, or you can just put the 1 and 1/10. Then I'm going to cross these out because I'm done here. Now I'm going to move over here and I'm going to circle here. So these are done. The next one, I have a 7 and then a 0. So my 3 is here, and then this is 4. So my next number is going to be 1 and 78 thousandths, and the last one is 1 and 1 thousandths. And there's the order, and so I'm going to write that on my paper. So I'm going to bring this back up. I'm going to bring my work here. Try not to tilt it too much. And then I'm going to have my first one, 1 and 403 thousandths, 1 and 1/10, 1 and 78 thousandths, and 1 and 1 thousandths. And there you go. Remember, when you're lining them up, follow the same strategy that we were working on today. The next one is number 10. Again, I'm going to do the same concept. I'm going to write those out. And so the first, if you can, we'll scoot this over so you can see what I'm doing. Draw a line there. I have 4. I know I'm dealing with decimals, so I'm just going to put a decimal. And I see that there's some 3 spots, so I'm just going to put a 0, 0, 0. Next one is 4 and 22 thousandths. I have 4 and 2 thousandths. And I have 4 and 221 thousandths. Okay? I'm going to do the same strategy. All right, we're lining them up. Those of you that are getting confused, we'll take some grid paper home tomorrow. That way you'll have it, or put in your lines and create your own grid paper. These are equal. I'm going to circle the first one. 2 is the only one that's large, so that's just going to be my first one that I write down. And then I cross this out because I know, so I'm going to write out 4 and 221 thousandths. Cross that out. Then I go to my next one. If you're wanting to put it in a different color, go ahead, so it keeps it less confusing. So I'm just going to circle this next one in red. So then this is number 2. So I'm at 4 and 22 thousandths. And I'm done with here. Cross that out. And then these are equal. So now I'm going to the next one. And I think I'll do that one in, let's do that one in yellow. So does that help out better to see it? So if you do it in different colors, you can do that. You'll have that options on Benchmark and on Star as well, so don't worry about that. Next, I know that this one here, so this is number 3, and I have 4 and 2,000. And then the last one is 4. Kind of squeeze that one in. Can y'all see it? Sorry about that. Probably like, move the paper over, Miss Rowe. You got it. Okay. Now I'm moving it over to my paper. So I will move this up here. And I have 4 and 221 thousandths, 4 and 22 thousandths, 4 and 2 thousandths, and 4. Okay. So look at that. You're okay. Yay. Not. See me in the morning. All right, let's look at number 12. All right, this is going to be like the science doodle that we did today. And remember that one that we did. I'm going to show you the science doodle. Remember this part here where it had comparing on the number line, and we had all these sets of numbers, and this was at 3 and 5/10, and then everything in front of it, 3 and 51 hundredths, 3 and 52 hundredths. Well, then they made it as thousandths because of here. Then we have 3 and 55, 3 and then we had the 56, and then, so it makes it with my 5 here to 3 and 565 thousandths. So we did that. So this is going to be the same concept. So for number 12, I have 8 and 25 hundredths. The next one is 8 and what can go here, and then it's going to be the 6 at the end. and this is going to be less than 8 and 361 thousandths. So what number could you put in here that would help you know that this number here needs to be less than this number? Yeah, you can do any of the numbers then, but remember that whatever you put here, it's got to be greater than here. So if I put, I'm going to use pencil, I can erase. So, sounds like I heard a number 2. Somebody said, oh, I can put 2. If I did put the 2, does that make sense? Is 8 and 2/10 greater than 8 and 25 hundredths? This is equal. This is equal. No, it's not going to be. So, oh, wait. Look at what I did wrong. It's a 26. So, it will work for that one, right? Is 8 and 26 hundredths, because look at what I did. So, 8 is equal. The 2 here, those are equal, but look at this. This is what I failed to see. My 5 is still less than the 6. So, this is a true statement. I can put a 2 here. I can do 8 and 26 hundredths. Now, let's see if it falls here. Is 8 and 26 hundredths less than 8 and 361 thousandths? My 8 here is equal to my 8 in the ones place here. My 2 is less than my 3, so that makes it a true statement. Could I put a 3? Because it could be any number. So now try it. So 2 will be a good answer. That could be an unknown. What about a 3? Can a 3 be an unknown? Is 8 and 36 hundredths greater than 8 and 25 hundredths? Yeah, it is. So now let's look and see if this statement is true. I'm going to cover my finger here, the first one, so that you can have a better view. I have to do that when we have a string of greater than, less than equations, because then it can be really confusing. So I'll take the first group to see if that's a true statement. And then I cover up the next one, and I'll take the next group. So is 8 and 36 hundredths less than 8 and 361 thousandths? Yes, it is. So that makes it a true statement. If I make this a 4, so is 8 and 25 hundredths still less than 8 and 46 hundredths, or thousandths? No, I'm sorry, hundredths. That's a true statement. But then let's look at this. Is 8 and 46 hundredths less than 8 and 361 thousandths? Let's look. 8 and 8 are equal. I'm going to my tens place. 4 and 3. So no, that doesn't make it a true statement. So my 4 will not work, but my 3 and my 2 will. And the 1 won't, because 8 and 8 is equal, but 2 is greater than 1, but that doesn't make it a true statement. So the possible answers could be 2 or 3. So whichever one you decided. Okay? And again, tomorrow when we're doing our stations and our centers, you're gonna get some more practice, and we'll do an unknown where you and your friends can guess what could be my missing number. Tomorrow or Friday, I know that's one of the stations we have to build in. So I really need you to focus to make sure we get all our work done. All right, let's look at number 14. Jack travels 2 and 4,500 miles to school. Wanda travels 2 and 3,100 miles to school. Compare. Love that word, compare. You also use that in reading and in science. Compare the distances using words. All right? Well, before I want to use words, I need to first of all look at what I have. This is what Jack travels. I'm going to circle my number and underline my unit of measure. So I see it's 245 miles. Wanda